Hey, Anton here. I get this question from clients all the time, and honestly, it's one of the smartest things you could be asking before hiring anybody to help you grow your business. And it usually comes in two parts. First part is, Anton, how exactly will you train my team to manage and optimize our sales funnel? The last agency gave us one sales call and vanished. Or what would you recommend for me to train my team on my own? And right behind that, they'll usually ask, what CRM or lead management software do you use? Do you use Salesforce? Do you use HubSpot? Do you use Pipedrive? Do you use Go High Level? If you've ever wondered either of those things, you're in the right place, because today I'm going to walk you through exactly what we do to train our team, hold our team accountable, support the sales process, and set up a lead management system that actually works inside clinics. So let's break it down. Most people right now are just training on like a one-time event, like in the beginning. And let me say this straight. If an agency gives you one sales training call in the beginning and then calls it a day, that's not really training. That's just like, a lecture. Do you hire a new person in your clinic and give him or her like one day of training, and then are you confident that that person could pull it off with just that one day of training? No, right? You're not hiring somebody to talk at your team for an hour. You're hiring someone to help your business grow. And that means ongoing support, accountability, collaborations. And most clinics I work with have amazing people on the staff. They're kind, they care, and they really want to help people. They're super compassionate, lots of empathy, great hospitality, but they've never been shown how to follow up with cold leads or how to handle objections. They're used to referrals. And cold leads are strangers, and they're a little bit different than referrals. And they've definitely never been taught how to close a multi-$1,000 program on a 30-minute phone call. High-ticket sales over the phone is not usually a thing that front desk people are taught. And it's not because they're bad at their job, it's just because the system that they were given is broken, or worse, it doesn't exist. So whether we ever work together, I recommend meeting once a month with your team to zoom out, set clear goals for your practice, and make sure everyone knows exactly what it is that you're aiming for. Have an outcome to your goals, to your team meetings. And then every single week, meet to work towards those goals, not just talk about them. Work on them. And you can invite anybody from your team. Care coordinators, receptionists, providers, anyone who talks to leads or patients, because the more people understand how the system works, the better it's going to run. During those weekly calls, we do a few key things. We review actual patient communication, calls, texts, emails, consults if you have them recorded, so we can identify opportunities to improve the practice in all different areas. We role play common objections so your team feels confident responding. They've actually practiced the thing that they need to say, and it's not just the first time. You got to do the prep work too. We sometimes tweak the funnel or script as needed based on what's working and what's not working, so that it's not like theory. It's not just like, oh, this could probably work in your business. This is like boots on the ground optimization, so your team can actually perform and not just feel like they're winging it. And then it really helps when the sales training that your team is getting is contextual, because you don't want it to be like a lecture. You want it to be engaging. You want it to have to do with the actual conversations that they had, so they can see the stuff that you're teaching them as tangible, so they can see where it can get implemented. People want like this one-size-fits-all script, like a magic phrase that turns every lead into a patient, but sales training, real effective sales training, it has to be contextual. That means understanding your offer, your avatar, your ideal patient, your margins, your calendar, and the emotional journey that your leads are on. For example, selling HRT to a tired mom in her 40s is not the same as selling PRP to a 63-year-old ex-athlete who's already tried everything. They have different pains, different beliefs, different levels of urgency. So in our weekly calls, we tailor the conversations to your world, and more importantly, to our patient's world. We look at your pipeline, your objections, your missed appointments, your internal communications, and we practice what matters most to you. That way, your team isn't learning generic sales theory. They're learning exactly how to sell what you do to the exact ideal person that you want to bring in more of and serve more of. Now, we're going to shift gears a little bit here into like tech stuff and talk about the CRM. If you don't have a solid CRM in your business so your team can stay organized, none of the training matters. You can have the best team in the world, but if your leads are leaking out of the bottom of the funnel because they're just written on Post-it notes and slapped on the side of your desktop, you're just lighting money on fire. Now, most of my clients come to me using some version of Go High Level, usually white labeled through another agency, and sometimes it's fine, but usually it's a mess. Nobody held the team accountable to moving leads through the pipeline. The team's still using the phone at the office. They're not using the phone in high level. Inconsistent follow-up, no automations, no accountability, disorganized tags. It's usually a mess. So here's what we like to do. I'll set you up with a fresh Go high level account that's structured the right way from the ground up. New patient intake forms, follow-up patient intake forms, review requests, clean pipelines that your team can use, and I'll export your contacts from the old system, migrate everything we can over, and build out a clean custom version that fits your clinic specifically and your team, not some template. Then we connect the dots. You gotta have everything plugged in. Your website forms gotta go straight into high level. Your inbound calls get logged and tracked in high level. Your website requests are automatically captured from chat widgets. Text and email automations get triggered instantly, and your team gets notified in real time when a lead comes in from anywhere. Everything's seamless and everything lives in one place. It's a little bit, you get a little reluctant setting it up from the team, but the outcome is instead of bouncing between Google Sheets, Gmail, call logs, Post-it notes, your team has a central command center on one platform. One system, full visibility. If we ever stop working together, you keep the account for $197 a month, which is what it would cost you to get it from high level. It's yours, and we'll even help you set it up so it keeps working without us. Because the goal is not to hold your system hostage. I want you to be able to operate autonomously without me. That's the goal for the business. I don't want you to be dependent on me forever. That's no fun. I want to go fishing. So a couple places that we implemented this recently that it's done amazingly well. One of our clients, HealMD, now California Concierge, was doing about 25 grand a month when we started working with them. They were seeing tons of patients. The provider was slammed, but their margins were thin and their team was overwhelmed. So we raised their prices. We trained their staff on how to field leads, handle objections, and set clear boundaries around the new pricing. We also migrated them into a clean CRM, automated the follow-up, and made sure every lead was tagged and tracked. The end result, they've scaled to about 80 grand a month, working less with fewer patients, increasing their prices and tightening up the funnel so they can now provide an even higher level of service to the patients. Get more resources, you can take better care of patients. Have more time, you can spend more time with patients. Better patient outcomes is a result of being able to charge more for your services. Little side note there, don't be afraid to raise your prices 20 or 30%. Another example, Orthobiologics Associates. They were already successful. Vince has a great practice. But their online presence and their website traffic, it didn't really reflect the quality of the care that they can provide. So we optimized their website, we built treatment-specific and condition-specific pages to get people at the top of the funnel and the bottom of the funnel, depending on their readiness and willing to buy, and integrated everything into a single Go High Level account. They still have other agencies that they work with, but we've plugged all the agencies' other leads into this one high level account. And that system alone has added over $1 million a year in new cash pay revenue in 2024. And it allowed for them to hire a dedicated new salesperson to work full-time exclusively on cash pay leads. And for Joy Kong, who some of you may have seen on YouTube, we helped her go from running Facebook ads and doing every consultation by herself to becoming a recognizable face on YouTube, hiring other doctors, and expanding her influence so she can focus on her many other businesses and certifications. All while systemizing your sales process so leads didn't fall through the cracks. The pattern's always the same. If you spend the time and you build the people and give them the systems, the people will build your business for you. Remember that. Build the people, they build the business. Couple final thoughts here. I don't believe in Band-Aid solutions. If we're gonna work together, it's because you wanna build something that actually works, not something that just looks good in a dashboard and you're probably gonna churn in 60 to 90 days. That's why we train your team weekly on real conversations, real objections, and real follow-up habits. That's why we build your CRM from scratch around your actual workflow and make sure it's a tool your team uses daily, not something they avoid, which I know you've all experienced. And that's why we share everything we do, transparently. So if you wanna run with it on your own, you can. Your team has full admin permissions. They can do whatever they want, except send out 15,000 text messages a day. You can't do that. To help you get started, we put together 2 really good resources. One, the 5 core functions worksheet, so you can track your business growth month to month, structure your meetings with outcomes. Follow-up cadence is the second resource here. This is the exact timing of when to reach out to prospects and what to say when you do. So you can take all the guesswork out of training your team. 2 really good resources. Both are 100% free. They've helped clinics add millions in revenue without adding any more overwhelm. It's actually make things a lot simpler. If you want access to those resources, just shoot me an email or head to the first link in the description below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.